Welcome back to tonight's sad reality. Today feels like it just literally did not exist. Oh my gosh, I felt like an episode of SpongeBob. And maybe I'm crazy or like Mandela affecting this into existence, but I swear there was an episode of SpongeBob where um like everyone just disappears for a moment, and that's literally what today was. Just in like every way possible. It feels like everyone was there last night, and then like I wake up today at 6 and just everybody's gone. I don't know how to explain it. Because like people were there, but it was like a mental thing almost. Solid, 5 hours of sleep last night as well. Woke up at 6, like I just said. Um, Wake up, take a long boy shower. Gosh, I love my long showers. But then I get to work and like everything's fine. I'm just extremely tired. I get there and I get there an hour early because I was asked to. Kind of I'm on the schedule for that time anyways, and like I'm there for a specific purpose, and that is to do like opening duties. And then I got there and they're like, "Oh, hey, we already did this. We forgot to communicate that you're supposed to be the one to train to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, well." Then I stood around for about 40 minutes, read through like the first five chapters of first five pages of Proverbs or whatever, first five, whatever you call it. I read the Bible. I try to sometimes, and I feel like lately I've been needing it. Oh my gosh, my mental has been tanking. If that's not obvious. Um, and then my boss comes in at 8:40. And he's like, "Do I need to move some stuff around? Corporate like needs photos of the way the store looks." I'm like, "Okay," and then I do that. I'm still tired because 5 hours of sleep and my sleep schedule lately has not been great. Following everything I was mentioning yesterday, with just life feeling like it's been spinning. I decide that an energy drink's a fantastic idea. I didn't eat dinner last night, so I'm on an empty stomach. 270 milligrams of caffeine from a Celsius in the tank. And I'm extremely thin, light, underweight, whatever you want to call it. I weigh like 110 pounds. I would love to check, but like little with the scale at my home we've had for like 15 years, and it just like doesn't turn on anymore. And I don't know if we can even replace the batteries or what. Um, but yeah, so assuming that I'm like the same as I have been for a while, considering my really bad eating habits, um, I weigh very little. And I did the math. If you take 270 milligrams of caffeine, um, you can convert that to grams, or you can just use milligrams, and then 110 pounds, adjusting that for like the amount of me that is now caffeine. It's like 0.05% or something, or like 0.06 if we're rounding, or I think it's probably 0.05. I did the math earlier in Desmos because I was curious. I shake when energy drinks like that, like there's that much caffeine in that. I know most people can handle that. I just like never really do energy drinks in general, but they do help a lot. I feel like today was like by far my best day of customer service, probably like ever. Were the metrics perfect? No, certainly not. But that was fine. And like everything was fine today, and then I swear as soon as that energy drink hit, I just like developed paranoid schizophrenic disorder or something. Because I swear like nothing made sense after that, or like my brain just did not click. And like it was clicking in the ways of like I could get things done, but then when it came to people, I feel like I was getting like looks from the customers or my coworkers, or like people's moods were off. And I could tell I was in a really good mood because yesterday I was in a really bad mood, and then you take caffeine and it's like humans love all sorts of poisons in our system. Or drugs or whatever you want to call them. But um, people are interesting creatures. We were actually talking today earlier. I was talking with an online friend about how um, the taste, like a bitter taste, is often associated with like natural poisons. So people don't like bitter tastes, but you can kind of condition yourself to like it or appreciate it, and that's why coffee can most of the time is bitter, or a lot of people drink it bitter, straight black or whatever. Um, Purely because it's like you get used to that with the caffeine, but most people don't start liking it at first, actually, compared to alcohol after that, because I have a lot of um, alcoholic coworkers. I love each and every one of them for the most part, but yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's a part of my brain that's like scared that I asked my coworker. I was like, do I look weird or anything? I don't know if it's like just the caffeine. Um, and then I get home today, and then like was texting some other friends, and not like a single one of them got back to me, and I'm like, hello? Did did I like screw up or something? Like, where did everyone go? Um, and that's just literally how it felt today. I have no other better way of explaining it. I got home at like 4:30. Usually it's 8 hour shifts or whatever, and that 8 hours turns into 8 hours plus there's however many customers there are in line with whatever other problems they want me to solve, I guess, such as retail. Took a 2 hour nap because however that is. Energy drink immediately came out of my system after that though. I was like I crashed so hard after that. Um but like I can't figure it out. Like where did everyone go? I don't know. Today felt weird. I'm like tomorrow will be better, right? Tomorrow's my day. I feel like those jokes. It's like I already messed up this year. Next year's my year. You know, guys. I don't know. The internet when it comes to repeating the same joke over and over again. Like that one time I talking about risk tolerance and I think it was risk tolerance. And the video literally starts off with on Steam the same GIF over and over and over again. Like it's I don't know. Our sense of humor is interesting. But between that and everything else, so here's probably one of the more interesting parts, and I guess it's kind of like people disappearing in other people's lives. Our store assistant manager, I think I mentioned this like forever ago. This was back in November of last year. Um, he retired finally. His health wasn't exactly in great condition, um, but well, I guess kind of prior to that, his health wasn't in good condition. He improved a little bit, but then he kind of decided he's going to retire. Um, Old guy, everyone loved him though, very sweet. His superpower in retail was he had like a few customers he could just talk to infinitely. There was no like cessation of the conversation. It just went and went and went for hours, and he would just be like standing there with one person for like 2 hours talking about baseball. And I wish that was a superpower I had because I wish my days went faster sometimes. Although turns out when you drink 270 milligrams of caffeine, um, you unlock the 11th dimension and time travel and whatever you're watching on screen. So I don't feel like the game plays itself. You're watching. Enjoy your Subway Surfers with some depressed guy talking in the background. Um, that's a superpower. And back when he retired, they were like, okay, it's during the holidays. Black Friday is coming up. Really the big stuff. This is back during November. I think it's early November. Maybe it was late November. I think it was early November. I think it was like the start of November. But we were preparing for all like the really big stuff in the store because when the holidays come, you're preparing like a month in advance. In fact, we have inventory coming up soon, and we were already preparing for that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, has it already been a year since we did inventory last? Yes, it has. But does it feel like a year? No, it hasn't. Am I happy with where I've come in the span of the year? Eh, not really. No, I feel like I could have been doing a little bit more. Um, but I guess back to the story. So he's gonna have kind of like a retirement party because he'd been with the store for so long, and this is like a promise that our store manager made and other stuff. But I learned about that today. So the coworker that I asked, I was like, am I all right? Do I look fine? Because she was in a bit of a mood today too, and I'm like, did I offend people? I couldn't figure it out. It just feels like nobody was there mentally today. And was it me? Was it the whole world? Who knows? I feel like these videos are partially like relatable, but for an audience that's like the misfits out there, I heard that normality is another way of expressing insanity to some degree, which I thought was a very interesting philosophical take on the world because that came from one of my coworkers, which I'm sure is paraphrasing or quoting someone else. But so they promised this like celebration of hey, you were here for a while, we loved you, and like you helped out the store a lot. But today it turns out so they're going to a bar for that, and it's like 90% people I don't know because I only really worked for him or with him for, I'm not even sure if it was a full year. I'm gonna guess. No, I think it would have been a little over a full year actually. Yeah, I worked with him a little over a full year, but like not as long as some of the other people that he knows, like 5, 6 years in some cases. All those people are gonna be there, and it's a bar. And I'm like, okay, you know what? In all fairness, I can understand what I'm about to hear allegedly, but my boss, so not the assistant manager, but the manager, the guy, the it's like John Dead by Daylight. I don't know, the guy. He said he doesn't want to go to the thing, and I'm like, really? Y'all worked together for like 10 years at least, I think, and you don't want to like hang out with him for a bit? I know it's at a bar, and like I know not everyone's like these are people you used to work with. And granted, my store manager I don't think is on the greatest terms with everyone. Like everyone makes fun of him for his inability to schedule, and like it's retail. It's not perfect. Everyone's kind of dying internally, and I will be this week as well. My schedule, my shifts are not are no bueno. He says he doesn't want to go to that, and I'm like, is it fear of people getting drunk, people doing stupid things? Does he not want to be there? Does he not want to be seen there? Because like, if you're at a bar, sometimes the way you're seen means a lot, and I can understand that as a function of like public perception or reception of who you are. For me, I'd always like to keep it real with people and like just be like, hey, if I'm doing something, this is what I'm doing. Um, Obviously, sometimes it's a struggle to put those things into words for how incomprehensible the world is sometimes. But I'm like that kind of hurts me for the store assistant manager because again, this guy was not like perfect, but I'm like whenever I go wherever I go, I hope that people care, you know? Um, and I don't know. Some days it just doesn't feel like that's the case, and that's fine. Um, I've always told people, I'm like, look, your reward's either in this life or the next life, and I am more than fine with it not being in this life. And by saying more than fine, I mean I'm coping extremely hard. But some days it just doesn't feel like it's there, and that's fine. Um, but for all that time put in, and we don't take the time to appreciate those people, that's disheartening to me. Um, Again, that is assuming it's true, assuming he doesn't plan on making a surprise appearance or whatever. But he seemed like very firm on this, and he's not exactly the type of guy to joke around with that either. Um, which is funny because like I'm the new guy, kind of. I mean, as far as the I could say like dinosaurs were the new guys to the Earth, but that's just like the Earth's been around for so long. That's how the store feels. Like I've been around a year. A lot of people at the store like know me for obvious reasons, but in their lives I feel kind of new. And my store manager like praises me relentlessly for the metrics I put up and stuff, and that's great. But that's not who I want to be. And the conversation I've had with people too is we put on a face. We do so many times. I mean, the world we live in, like that is a face in some ways. Um, we put on this face. I know what sells well. I know what works well on YouTube. In fact, my main channel, I changed my voice, and that's how this goes, you know. And you can probably hear a little bit more vocal inflection here than in previous videos, and part of that's because there is emotional drive behind it. Some days I feel like I lack that. Today is one of those days where I'm like, ooh, I really put in the time. I tried to make things work, and it didn't quite work out. But for the people whose abilities we do have to some say in, and we say, hey, look, I'm gonna be there for that guy who's there for me and who cared. We might as well, you know. Um, it's just funny. Like I get home, there's not a single there's not a single person in my DMs that I'm like talking with. I learned about an anime today called Death Parade, and I asked a few friends about it. Like not a single one of them got back to me. I was talking about Proverbs with another friend. He didn't get back to me. Talking about new Discord PFP with another friend. They still haven't gotten back to me. I'm just like, okay, well, we're lonely. But you know what? Again, for all the problems that I talk about on this channel, like, I can't imagine having worked like 10, 20 years in retail and then kind of his boss not even showing up to his 1 year late celebration of the service he did for the company or the store. Um, where'd everyone go? You know? So, my advice on behalf of that is, and if I'm gonna talk about Proverbs again here, first 4 or 5 chapters or pages, whatever you want to call it. I'm an idiot. I don't even know what they're called, and I don't know if that's a function of my brain capacity right now. So I know there's like an actual word for it, and maybe I'm just blanking really hard. But regardless, it's like there's a lot of people you should stay away from. There's a lot of crazy things in the world that you should be like, I want no part of this. Shun evil, all that stuff. But it makes the world seem extremely lonely as well, and I don't think that's the point. Um, to me, the point's more like the world can be lonely. Um, that's not to say there isn't a lot of bad in it, but what I do think is if you are going to eat dinner with someone one day, um, you want all the people at that dinner table to be well mannered, you know? And whether from the perspective of the guy not attending the dinner, everyone else isn't well mannered, or perhaps you yourself are the one not well mannered and weren't invited, who knows? I want to be there, you know? Um, and I hope people want to be there with me too. So, thanks for watching or listening or whatever tonight's Sad Reality. I don't even know what this game is. Randomizer game that I used to play. Obviously, I got a little far. There's like 1,584 achievements in it as of posting this, I think. Achievement Hunter here. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in tomorrow's Sad Reality. I'll probably be a little more emotionally dead, but also like this video felt good. So, thanks for watching. Aspire to be that person in people's lives who makes a difference, and I don't know, be the next great thing in the world. See you in tomorrow's Sad Reality. Have a good one, y'all.